chair of Algon, and that's if
Algon Vice.
Those who don't know what Algon is,
Algon Vice.
Algon Vice.
Yeah.
Now, this is talking about all the 774 local governments across Nigeria. This is the woman that sits second on the table. Good morning.
Morning, my sis. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good to have you. And we're talking about true leadership this morning and the place of gender balance in true leadership. That's our conversation for this morning. The naughty boy on the set with me, his name is Robin Emmanuel.
Because he ask you to complete her name too. Robin Emmanuel.
Yes, unique.
Gender equality.
Yes.
Because you just mentioned it now.
Right.
So,
Hey.
and that's what make real MC real.
All right, we're talking about the place of gender balance in leadership, and I would like to peep into the brain of someone who has been in a leadership position as a woman for quite a while. Let me begin with your history. Before you became the vice chairman of Ikorodu local government, you were a politician?
Wow, I think everybody has a political thing in that.
Okay.
I was a real estate person, okay? And so, like I always say, politics, you must also work on a second address. Yeah.
Have a second address.
Yeah,
This
your
is not
second address.
An occupation, like they say.
Yeah, your
It's a call for
profession, trading, whatever, you must come to table with something that is of value, okay? And whether formal or informal, I want to believe that giving the best of yourself is so much a work in progress every day. Even I would still say I am very much a work in progress. Because I always tell my people that the you of today must be better than the you of yesterday. And the you of tomorrow, better, greater than the you of today. Okay, so politics is something that the word has been so bastardized. I want to use that as well. You know, everybody don't want to touch it. But for me, pure meaning of politics is relevance, adding value. It's better you keep it that simple. That way, more people can come to terms with the reality, because the fact remains, whether you want to deal with it or you don't want to deal with it, we are stuck in it.
And we can do without it.
No, you can't.
We can do without it. Now, as a woman who has been in politics for a while,
Yes.
who has been in
Almost
leadership,
2 decades. Yeah.
almost 2 decades now,
Wow.
who has been in leadership as well for a while, disabuse my mind. Has it been easy? Because they think that because it's a man's world, it's definitely easier for the men than the women.
Well, that's one thing about life. Nothing in life, good in life comes easy. And like my leader used to say, power is not served a la carte. You've got to work it. So being a man or a woman, it's all perception. We're meant to believe that because the men are meant to be tougher and everything, they can retain more. For me, I want to say that women are actually the multitasking. I mean, we juggle so much.
Now I'll give it to
And the tenacity, perseverance, passion that we put into everything that we do, I'm telling you, stands a good woman apart anytime. Yeah? So, the terrain sometimes gets very hostile. And so, the terrain includes the men and the women. So, either way, but it just tells you that the more women come into the space, the better, more healthier the space gets.
So you're saying that lack of women in the space, in the Nigeria political space,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
one of the
Weakness on its own.
reasons.
It's a big weakness on its own. Yeah, for me. And that's why I said, in life, you can't give what you don't have. So if we're not there, we cannot keep complaining. And it's, like I said, work in progress. So at every stage, we must engage, participate, and occupy our space. Right from the home, cells, work, wherever you find yourself, there's some form of politicking going on there.
Of course.
And so the more women actually come and volunteer or show concern, show love and everything, and I tell people, I said, lighting somebody else's candle does not put off mine. It just gives a more illuminated world. So we must see ourselves as family, encourage one another, and trust me, Nigeria will be a much better society. If you look at the societies all over the world, where you have more women participating, the rate of growth, so much good stuff going on there,
Example
is
is
phenomenal.
Germany.
Huh?
Example is Germany. Yes, Finland.
Even
Rwanda, yes.
after all that they went through,
They had the woman
still
leading
evolving, yeah. So, I think we need to encourage more
Women.
women.
But you talk about. I'm sorry, you're the man on the table. So
You see, gender.
And here you have numbers, okay?
sorry.
Just in this office.
No.
Just in this
For this table.
Just for this
No
table.
problem.
Sorry, oh.
But doesn't mean I'll not talk. Sister,
I'm not saying you not talk. Oh.
Okay.
I'm not saying you not talk.
Actually, I think I'll
but
just
this one,
leave it to place the
this one that I
focus.
want to talk, let me talk it.
Oh yeah, talk it.
Because-
Because we have something in common. Me and mommy. I'll tell you.
It's not the Ikorodu business.
No, it's not correct.
So yes, we're talking about power not served a la carte, and I took that into my head and I had to roll it over. I keep hearing women say things like, "They've not given us the opportunity. The leadership don't give us the opportunity." But I've also heard sneakers of whispers that say Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been one of the enablers.
You
of
just
women.
you just hit home run for me. Okay, home run.
So I hear a lot of women, even in journalism, come in and say, "Oh, Asiwaju did this for me. Asiwaju did," and I keep still hearing other women in the party fold saying they didn't give us the opportunity. Can you balance it for me, please?
When I said you hit home run, is because when you talked about His Excellency Dr. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for me is a leader, quintessential leader like no other leaders. And life, when you are a good leader, you obviously send something out to your followership. One of the great things we are enjoying in the state of excellence today is, okay, thank God for my he for she governor, okay, who also came through that school of thoughts, yeah. And so, every man, even the president, was birthed by a woman. Now, passing it on and appreciating, adding value, and so for somebody like Asiwaju Dr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he is somebody that recognizes the strength and power of a woman, celebrates it each day, encourages a lot of women. Now, yes, I can hold your hand and say, let's go. But I'm just holding your hand. If you don't take your feet, 1 feet at a time, you ain't going nowhere. Okay, so...
And I may be forced to even drop your hand after a while if you're not moving.
Okay, so, but he's saying that the enablers are all laid out for you. Ignore all the stereotyping and negativities that is there. You are equipped for whatever road that lies ahead of you. Rise above the storm, even when you do see it. But at the end of it all, it's well worth it. Because there's nothing you do that is like for Nigeria, can be too much. We are all the greatest assets that Nigeria has as a country. What are you putting in to that great citizenship of Nigeria? And he knows that women ruling from the heart or occupying, serving from the heart passionately, most times you give a woman something to do, you might as well just go to bed. You don't have to babysit it too much because yes.
Well, good one. Because you already said I'm the only male on the table.
And you're in safe hands.
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry, you were bettered by a woman. So.
I've always said they should not just call women wives. I said they should call them manager, because practically it was like a setup from God. Like God just pack all our soul and give it to a woman. No, it's the honest truth.
That was what he was going to say.
No, it's the honest truth. It's the honest truth. Yeah, I get to think about it a lot. But I said something in common. Yeah, I did local government studies and administration in Obafemi Awolowo University of the greatest Ife.
Yes, sir.
I'm not in the mood of Bobo today. Can you please move?
Because I have to. You see, in Ife, we were taught how to take each step at a time. So when I see,
you remember that is my alma mater too.
I
Let's
understand.
not turn
so when
our
I
show
see an administrator of my beloved prestigious department. No, I don't know what she studied, but now she's holding
real estate. Can't you see?
But now she's
in politics.
She's in politics.
Local government administration. And that's where the grassroots. That's when it's grassroots
So I
politics.
did it ND, I did it DSC. So when I see her, I respect them because I always say if the 7 for local governments in Nigeria are better, then Nigeria is automatically better.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Right
we study politics from the grassroots. That's what I want to say. But now I want to come to the question I want to ask you. I want to ask, what has leadership been as a woman?
As your position now.
Wow. For me, I count it all joy. It's a privilege and honor to be able to even serve. It's called, servant leadership. It's not bossing over people. If you really love people, you wake up each day encouraged, wanting to make a difference, wanting to put a smile. You don't have all the answers, to all the problems in the world, but trust me, one at a time, you just, give it your best shot each day. And sometimes, I talked almost 2 decades now, and I'm like, really? Has it been that long? Because no 2 days are the same. No 2 days are the same. But it's something I look forward to each day with that full enthusiasm. Like, what? Thank God for today. It's another plus. It's another day for me. It's a legacy project now for me, really. Nigeria, for me, I want to be remembered as one of the greatest blessings that Nigeria got.
Okay.
And don't despise the days of humble beginnings, because we always think we're nowhere, we're nothing, you could be more, because you're made. Even the society sometimes would always make you feel it's just you, who are you? But you must know that if everybody can celebrate the great citizenship, the patriotism of being a true Nigerian, putting Nigeria first, beyond your personal interest, I think over half of the problems we have today in Nigeria will be half solved.
But then most women, going from what you just asked, most women who occupy the vice position tend to just say, I'm
She's
a
a
spectator.
Oh, really?
I'm just...
Or probably sometimes
they're
they
not
don't
even
carry
the
them
conductor,
along.
they're not even the conductor. I'm a passenger in this vehicle. I'm just coming along.
Anywhere
with you.
Oga says we should go, we would go.
If Oga says-
And I think that is what the new set of vice chairmen That's where we differ. Okay? The Constitution is just like a marriage. Okay? You are meant to be the helpmate, the support, the pillar. Okay? Yes, your principal, your chairman. Okay? But wherever he turns his head, you must have it in check. You hold firm. Loyalty. The greater thing binding both of you together is the people.
That you both serve.
Yes, you have a joint ticket. Okay? You must make sure you defend it with all that you have.
Even if you don't agree with your principal most of the time.
Well, you know what? Obviously, before you go in for your elections and all that, you have your laid out. Okay? It's just like my governor has his themes agenda. Every local government, I just talked about it, no two areas are the same. Every politics is local. What is prioritized in Ikorodu might not be what is prioritized in the local government or in Alimo Shore. So you customize your needs. That's why it's called local government.
At a point in time, you think there wouldn't be disagreement?
Yes, there would be, but you must always see a bigger picture. It is not about you think about the people. So, but most times, even our boss would be like, with your attitude, you can get to the highest altitude. Okay? And so, raising storm or doing tantrums or whatever does not help you or help your community. So, you are not being carried along. No. That's no excuse. You know why you are there. You can be creative, okay, to make sure you add value.
Creative, innovative.
Yeah, to make sure you add value. This is my second tenure. When we first started with the Algon Vice Association, nobody had a clue where my local government was. Okay, my village is an indigenous community, but I knew I had to represent my people. I had to be a voice. Somebody paid my way to be there. I better be repping. Good. And at the end of the day, everybody wants to be like, Yakrodu.
Is that what they call you?
And anytime I hear that, not in Lagos, you are talking Abuja. Sometimes I'm excited because they are proud of the source where you're from. Yes. So you must always remember whose you are, where you're coming from, and make sure you're a good role model. You're obviously laying a path for people to come after you. You will not always be a vice chairman. Everybody hopes to go higher. Off. So some people also will now be like, thank God these people made it easier to some extent when we got there. It's just like even the Lagos State one. When we first started, we have LASAVIC, which is the Lagos State Association. Okay, there were so many things that we've obviously added value. There's a Lagos State Forum chair. From there, but we work like, you know what? And when I talk, I'll be like, this is my home. My home said, we try. And so everybody looks out for one another.
Okay, I was going to ask you for two things here. But when you mentioned, don't forget where you're coming from. I'd like people should understand that they should take care of their home, because even the president will eventually go back to Daura, his local government.
Okay. Where do you live? Ikorodu. Oh, you live in Ikorodu? Because I was kind of
one of
wondering.
those vice chairmen that stay on the island and manage.
No, you know what? A lot
the
of
reason
us.
I had to ask that question is because the moment people go into politics, they tend, even if they used to live in the midst of their people, while I want Ikorodu, then they tend to, relocate.
Actually, for me, when I just got back from UK, US, I'd been abroad for almost 30 years. And so coming back to Nigeria, my mother was living already in Ikorodu. I relocated mainly because of my parents, because they were old and getting sick, to take care of them. And then I now saw, like, what's going on here? Put my head in, and I'm like, how can I quickly make a difference? And that's when I thought, okay, volunteer let me help you, and before you know it, how do you get this? You ask questions. You choose your party, choose who to choose as your leader. So because life is about choices and consequences.
Of course.
Okay, so yes, my choices was maybe fanciful, beautiful island and everything, but I chose Ikorodu because it's a place closest to my heart.
Okay, so I was going to ask, so the question you almost answered, like how do you manage your political career and your personal self? Because living in Ikorodu, where it seems like, I don't know how accessible you are to your people, but people, especially in your political party, your ward, mommy, wedding, mommy, aburo yin bimo, all those petty, they won't say job be man. No, I know. No, I'm just saying. That's the way Yoruba will put it.
Last week.
And you know what? That is the one beautiful thing I love about our culture.
The Omoyi.
Yeah, the Omoyi. I was born in Lagos Island, Itafaji. Back then, it wasn't only your mother that was your mother. The community jointly raises you.
1 million.
Yes, if you dressed up or you did anything, everybody felt they were responsible. They won't have to wait for your parents. They will take care of you.
And that's how the
right there.
Say,
But I think it is one of the things where I feel we've dropped the balls.
Communal living.
Yeah, on the value system. So, yes, when you accept to be a local government person, it's saying your community is where your heart is. Whatever happens there gets into. Yes. So, I just told you can't solve everybody's problem, but you are meant to be a solution provider. If it's not on your desk, you look for somebody else to push it to, or so that's what it's all about.
But then you talk about Igbaojulo, and it just brought to mind something that I heard happens in the party. They say Asiwaju wields a big stick and there's a cane for every child, whether you are a local government chairman or a governor, that you can be whipped into line. Is it true?
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, all I can think about my leader, our leader, His Excellency, Dr.
So who corrects them when they go wrong?
It's nothing but love. Okay, as a leader, as a father, as a mentor, as a pathfinder, let me tell you, politics is politics, and it depends on which side you're on. And that perception, the terrain can be very hostile. And so you have oppositions here and there who would always want to abuse or whatever good you're doing. It's part of their game. For people like us, maybe I'm not used to all that game stuff. But whoever said he carries a big stick and whatever.
No, a correction.
Whatever. There are laid out guidelines
in the party.
So now, if you err or anything, there are ways. But it's not possible for Ashadu to be in everybody's house or everybody's office.
It's probably the king might not be like.
He's a leader.
Haven't you heard it before?
Of course, several times.
Because you see, there are so many things that people say, and they've used that into
really.
painting him as this.
From his track record, from his pressing. Number one thing I respect about him, he don't just talk.
Okay.
I think
he's a good listener, and he reluctantly responds, because before he talks, thousands of people might have talked before.
Oh, yes.
That's to say, okay, so when it comes to that king of a thing, I think you wouldn't be the one to flog yourself, because already
You asked for it.
So by the time you get flogged, because I see,
you won't flog.
I don't want to make
You
don't
ever get flogged.
that flog. I'm not saying flog
with
of
a
normal
physical
flog.
or figurative cane. Basically, you don't get punished.
Because I've
That's what
seen
you're saying.
some people,
But he
people
forgives.
who misbehave.
Oh, he forgives.
Yeah, Ashaju gives you one of the longest rope. He believes in you, like human capacity development. I don't know where you like. If you see all the people that comes around him and everything, check their history. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down
20,
the line, 20
30.
years. You can only but say, "Wow!" For a lifetime.
How do you stay with this person?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm allowed to say this, I mean, when we were visiting a lot of the traditional institutions and all that, and trying to plead with him to please just take a bold step, help us, and, a lot of those palaces we went to, over 70% in the past 20 years, said there is a part of Ashwaju in the south, in all those places, that he has at some point or
Done this?
done
this?
something
Done
really
this.
good, something extraordinary.
For them.
Or
For
their
their
community,
community.
and keeping peace and everything, So for me, and it's not limited to just Southwest, is one of the most detribalized Nigeria. That's one thing that
I think his
is
last
so-
birthday
that-
was in the north. He celebrated it.
He moves around most times. For the
you know,
when you
and,
say that,
and
you
so
understand.
he's one person that will tell you the unity of Nigeria not negotiable. He lives and breathes Nigeria,
Not Lagos.
not Lagos, not Yoruba.
Because
not
they think it's Lagos.
They know Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo.
That's where you get more, and I think like
our national leader is it.
Like you rightly said, the thing is, in as much as you get into a position by competition,
Okay.
you should definitely know throughout your tenure, the person that competed with you rather would definitely be your enemy, or maybe because in politics there's no permanent friend, there's no permanent
But
enemy.
interest.
Interest. Eventually they might change. I want to come because even Jesus came to the world. It was human being that killed him. What I say. So it means some people. Yes, now is the truth.
She's rolling her eyes at you.
So the people are speaking this.
No,
These
that means there is nothing you can do to satisfy everybody, like she said. So somebody will still come outside to say something about you. So as a leader, you need to understand.
But I like the way he manages and balances those the information and
Yeah,
all that.
he's awesome.
The balance is always there. Thank you so much for giving us another. They say everybody that we see that is doing well in the Southwest, we should thank Asiwaju for bringing them out.
Well, for adding value and
Does he
helping.
handpick? I mean, there are so many things that people believe about Asiwaju that I keep wondering. They say he handpicks.
Eshe. That's part of the politics when they try to see something
They say he's the one
and they
handpicking
try to just
and handpicking and handpicking.
no,
So what I
but
heard-
for
what-
me, I think we need more Ashwaju in Nigeria. There's a bit of
I
a.
agree.
I have a peer group now that it's Ashwaju Distinguished Ambassadors Movement, meaning that an Ashwaju means first. Okay, there is a leadership instinct in everybody. Are you willing to wake up that giant? Are you willing to dare to take that bold step and live above par? Okay, dare to be extraordinary, because that's what he's doing. Okay, and so if all of us can truly see that, take a piece of that, emulate in wherever you are, honestly, and I know this generation and generations unborn will celebrate him for it.
We've been talking to Arebirin, Honorable Princess Folasade Olabanji-Oba this morning, and it's been an interesting conversation. I can keep talking to this woman for the next couple of
because
hours.
I was even going to say something because you are always telling me
I don't want you to say something again.
The movement you said just now,
Yeah.
you know, our youth, really, me, I'm a legit person, because I like to be legit and I love to make impact. And I know most people now want to join some trend or some party because of the funds and the interesting parts of politics. Most of them now will be tagging themselves Aṣíwájú là ń ṣe, Aṣíwájú là ń ṣe. Wọ́n fẹ́ lọ gba nǹkan. They have personal interest.
But it is just for their
It's only
pocket.
few people that
That
have
actually
passion
have
for that
the
place.
real
Like,
interest.
let Aṣíwájú hold his pocket, lock his bank with big padlock, and say, "You people, let's use the resources you people have. Leave me alone for it now." Somebody tried it in the state, did not enter anywhere. Blocked everywhere and anywhere. He became third in the politics because I said I finished from OA, so I witnessed at least 2 elections.
You're
in
a
that
wicked
place.
person, you.
Because most people, I feel, because Aṣíwájú is like this. Yeah, Aṣíwájú is like this.